Keto and fasting. Two of the most popular approaches to burn fat, lose weight, and improve your health. You've probably heard about both. Maybe you've tried one, thought about the other, or wondered if you should do both. And if you're like most people, you've asked yourself the same question: which one is actually better? Here's the thing. The answer isn't as simple as picking a winner. These two approaches work differently, have different strengths, and suit different people. Some thrive on keto, others swear by fasting, and some combine both. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how each approach works inside your body. You'll know what makes them similar, what makes them different, and most importantly, which one is right for you. Before we dive in, a quick note. This is educational content, not medical advice. If you have any health conditions or you're on medications, talk to your doctor before making changes to how you eat. Your body is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. Now, let's break this down. Let's start with the ketogenic diet. What is it exactly? At its core, keto is a way of eating where you consume a lot of fat, a moderate amount of protein, and very few carbohydrates. We're talking less than 50 grams of carbs per day, sometimes as low as 20 grams. To put that in perspective, a single banana has about 27 grams of carbs. One banana, and you're almost at your limit. When you eat this way, something interesting happens inside your body. Normally, your body runs on glucose. That's the sugar that comes from the carbohydrates you eat. Bread, rice, pasta, fruits, even vegetables, they all break down into glucose, and your body uses that glucose for energy. But when you drastically cut carbs, your body runs out of its preferred fuel. The glucose supply drops, and your body faces a decision: find a new fuel source or run out of energy. So it turns to fat. Your liver starts breaking down fat, both from the food you eat and from your body's fat stores. As it breaks down fat, it produces molecules called ketones. These ketones become your new fuel source. Your brain, your muscles, your organs, they all learn to run on ketones instead of glucose. This metabolic state is called ketosis. And getting into ketosis usually takes about 2 to 7 days, depending on how strictly you follow the diet and how your individual body responds. Now, here's something fascinating about where the ketogenic diet actually came from. Back in 1921, a doctor named Russell Wilder at the Mayo Clinic noticed something remarkable. Patients with epilepsy who fasted, who stopped eating completely, had significantly fewer seizures. The problem was obvious: you can't fast forever. At some point, you need to eat. So Dr. Wilder asked a brilliant question. What if there was a way to make the body think it's fasting while still allowing patients to eat? That's when he developed the ketogenic diet. By eating almost no carbohydrates and lots of fat, the body produces ketones exactly like it does during fasting. The diet was specifically designed to mimic what happens in the body during a fast, but in a way that could be sustained long term. This is important to understand. Keto and fasting are not opposites. They're not competing approaches. Keto was literally invented to replicate what fasting does inside your body. There are two different roads that lead to the same destination. Keep that in mind as we continue. Now let's talk about intermittent fasting. What is it? Intermittent fasting is not about what you eat. It's about when you eat. You cycle between periods of eating and periods of not eating. There are several popular approaches. The most common is 16-8. You eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. For example, you might eat between noon and 8 in the evening, then fast from 8 at night until noon the next day. During those 16 hours, you consume no calories, just water, black coffee, or plain tea. Some people do 24. That's eating within just a 4-hour window and fasting for 20 hours. Others do full 24-hour fasts once or twice a week, and some go even longer, 48 hours, 72 hours, or more. So, what happens inside your body when you stop eating? In the first few hours after your last meal, your body uses the glucose circulating in your blood. That's the immediate fuel from your recent food. Then it starts tapping into glycogen. Glycogen is stored glucose kept in your liver and muscles like a backup battery. Your body holds roughly 1,600 to 2,000 calories worth of glycogen. That's your reserve tank. After about 12 to 18 hours without food, that backup battery runs low. The glycogen is nearly depleted. And here's where things get interesting. Your body now has to make a choice. It needs energy, but the easy sources are gone. So it turns to the same solution we talked about with keto. It turns to fat. Your liver starts breaking down fat cells and producing ketones. Those ketones become your fuel. Around the 18 to 24-hour mark, most people enter ketosis. Do you notice something here? Both keto and fasting lead to the same place. Ketosis, fat burning, ketones fueling your body. They just take different roads to get there. With keto, you get there by changing what you eat. You keep eating, but you choose foods that don't raise glucose, so your body shifts to burning fat. With fasting, you get there by changing when you eat, or more specifically, by not eating at all for a period of time. No food means no glucose coming in, so your body shifts to burning fat. Same destination, different paths. So if both keto and fasting lead to ketosis, what else do they have in common? Quite a lot, actually. First, both approaches lower insulin levels. Insulin is a hormone that controls how your body stores and uses energy. When insulin is high, your body is in storage mode. It holds on to fat. When insulin is low, your body can release fat from storage and burn it for energy. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates, your insulin goes up. With keto, you minimize carbs, so insulin stays low throughout the day. With fasting, you're not eating at all during the fasting period, so insulin drops even further. Second, both approaches shift your body into fat-burning mode. Once you're in ketosis, fat becomes your primary fuel source. Your liver breaks down fat cells and converts them into ketones. Your body runs on those ketones instead of glucose. Third, both can improve mental clarity. This surprises many people, but your brain actually functions very well on ketones. Some researchers believe the brain may even prefer ketones in certain situations. Many people report feeling more focused, more alert, and mentally sharper when they're in ketosis, whether they got there through keto or fasting. Fourth, both approaches can reduce inflammation. High insulin levels and constant glucose spikes are linked to chronic inflammation in the body. By keeping insulin low and stabilizing your energy source, both keto and fasting can help calm that inflammatory response. Why do keto and fasting share so many benefits? Because at the cellular level, they're doing similar things. They're both sending the same signal to your body. There's not a lot of glucose available right now. Switch to burning fat. Your body doesn't really care if the glucose is gone because you ate no carbs or because you ate nothing at all. The metabolic response is remarkably similar. Produce ketones, burn fat, adapt. But here's where keto and fasting start to diverge. And understanding these differences is the key to choosing the right approach for you. The first and most obvious difference is this: keto is about what you eat. Fasting is about when you eat. On keto, you still eat, often quite a bit. You're just choosing specific foods: high fat, moderate protein, very low carbohydrate. On fasting, you're simply not eating for a period of time. What you eat during your eating window can vary. This creates a practical difference in daily life. Keto requires you to track and plan your food choices. You need to know which foods are low carb. You need to be aware of hidden carbohydrates in sauces, dressings, and processed foods. Some people enjoy this structure. Others find it tedious. Fasting is simpler in some ways. You're either eating or you're not. No calculations, no macro tracking, no worrying about whether that food fits your plan. During your eating window, you eat. During your fasting window, you don't. The second major difference is autophagy. Autophagy is a process where your cells clean themselves up from the inside. They identify old, damaged, or dysfunctional components, break them down, and recycle the parts into new useful material. Think of it as your body's internal maintenance and repair system. Both keto and fasting can trigger autophagy, but fasting does it more powerfully. Why? Because autophagy is activated not just by low glucose and low insulin, but by the complete absence of incoming nutrients. When you're fasting, especially for extended periods, your body gets a strong signal. Nothing new is coming in time to recycle and repair what we already have. Research suggests that autophagy really ramps up after about 24 to 48 hours of fasting. With keto alone, you get some autophagy benefits, but not to the same degree. You're still consuming nutrients, so the signal isn't as strong. The third difference is growth hormone. During extended fasting, your body dramatically increases the production of human growth hormone. Studies have shown increases of up to 2,000% during prolonged fasts. This surge in growth hormone helps protect your muscles while you're not eating. It's your body's way of preserving lean tissue during a period of no food intake. With keto, you don't see this same dramatic spike. You're still consuming protein and calories regularly, so your body doesn't need to ramp up growth hormone to the same extent. The fourth difference is sustainability. Keto is something you can do indefinitely. You're eating every day. You're getting nutrients. You can maintain muscle mass. You can exercise normally. Many people follow a ketogenic diet for months or years as their permanent way of eating. Fasting, especially extended fasting beyond 24 hours, has natural limits. You can only go so long without food before your body runs low on essential nutrients. Extended fasting is a tool you use periodically, not a permanent state. So here's how I'd summarize the core difference. Fasting takes the benefits of keto and intensifies them. It pushes the metabolic switches harder. But you can't stay in that intensified state forever. Keto is less intense but far more sustainable for everyday life. Quick question for you. Have you tried keto or fasting before? Drop a comment below. Just write keto or fasting and let me know how it went for you. I'm genuinely curious about your experience. Now let's break down the specific strengths and weaknesses of each approach, starting with keto. The strengths of the ketogenic diet. First, it's sustainable for the long term. You can follow a ketogenic diet for months or even years because you're still consuming calories and essential nutrients every day. Your body has what it needs to function normally. Many people make keto their permanent lifestyle. Second hunger tends to decrease. This surprises many newcomers. When you're in ketosis running on fat and ketones, your blood sugar stays remarkably stable. You don't get the crashes and cravings that come from blood sugar spikes and drops. Most people on keto find they're naturally less hungry. They can go longer between meals without discomfort. Third, you can maintain or even build muscle. Because you're eating protein and adequate calories, your body has the building blocks it needs for muscle tissue. You can work out, lift weights, stay physically active without worrying about losing muscle mass. Fourth, your energy becomes more stable throughout the day. No more afternoon crashes. No more desperate need for a snack at 3 in the afternoon. Ketones provide a steady, consistent fuel source that many people find more reliable than glucose. Now, the weaknesses of keto. First, it requires planning and attention. You need to learn which foods fit and which don't. You need to read labels, calculate carbohydrates, and be vigilant about hidden sugars. For some people, this level of attention feels restrictive or exhausting. Second, the transition period can be uncomfortable. Many people experience what's commonly called keto flu during the first few days. Headaches, fatigue, irritability, brain fog. This happens because your body is adapting to a completely new fuel source. It usually passes within a week, but those first days can be challenging. Third, social situations become more complicated. Eating out at restaurants, attending parties, traveling. High-carb options are everywhere in modern life. Following keto requires you to make careful choices in situations where it would be easier to just eat what everyone else is eating. Fourth, it simply doesn't work for everyone. Some people struggle with the high fat content. Some experience digestive issues. Some just don't feel good eating this way. Bodies are different, and keto isn't a universal solution. Now let's look at intermittent fasting. The strengths of fasting. First, it's remarkably simple. There's nothing to calculate, no macros to track, no special foods to buy. You're either eating or you're not. This simplicity appeals to many people who don't want to think about food decisions all day long. Second, it triggers more powerful autophagy. As we discussed, fasting activates your body's cellular cleanup and repair systems more intensely than keto alone. If cellular renewal and the potential longevity benefits are priorities for you, fasting has an advantage in this area. Third, growth hormone surges during extended fasts. This helps protect muscle mass and promotes fat burning. It's a benefit that's more pronounced with fasting than with keto. Fourth, it costs nothing. No special foods to buy, no supplements required, no products or programs. You're simply not eating for a period of time. It's completely free. Fifth, many people experience heightened mental clarity during fasting. Once you push past the initial adjustment period, there's often a sense of sharpness and alertness. Some describe it as feeling lighter and more focused. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. When food was scarce, your ancestors needed to be sharp and capable to find their next meal. Now, the weaknesses of fasting. First, you will experience hunger at least initially. Your body is accustomed to regular meals. When you start skipping them, it protests. The first few fasts can be genuinely uncomfortable. Most people adapt over time, but that adjustment period requires patience and willpower. Second, fasting is not sustainable indefinitely, at least not extended fasting. You can practice intermittent fasting patterns like 16-8 on an ongoing basis. But longer fasts of 24 hours or more are tools you use periodically. Eventually, your body needs nutrients. You can't fast forever. Third, you cannot build muscle while fasting. Without incoming protein and calories, your body can maintain existing muscle, especially with the growth hormone surge. But it cannot add new muscle tissue. If building muscle is a primary goal, you need to be eating. Fourth, extended fasting can affect your energy for demanding activities. If your job or hobbies require significant physical exertion, you may feel depleted during longer fasts. Some people handle this fine. Others struggle considerably. So which approach should you choose? This depends entirely on your individual situation, your goals, and how your body responds. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose, incorporating some extended fasting might help you get started. When you have substantial fat stores, your body can comfortably run on that stored energy for longer periods. Fasting can create a powerful initial momentum. If you want something you can maintain for months or years, keto is generally easier to sustain. You still eat every day. You still enjoy meals. You just choose different foods. For many people, this feels more like a lifestyle than a diet. If you're physically active or want to build muscle, keto is the better choice for your daily approach. You need protein and calories to fuel workouts and build muscle tissue. You can't accomplish that while fasting. If you're dealing with significant insulin resistance, perhaps you're pre-diabetic or have struggled with blood sugar issues for years, both approaches can help. Some evidence suggests that longer fasts may help reset severe insulin resistance more quickly, but keto is also effective and much easier to maintain consistently. If your primary interest is autophagy and cellular renewal, if longevity and cellular health are your priorities, fasting provides more of that benefit. Extended fasts of 24 hours or more really activate your body's cleanup and repair systems. If you simply want something straightforward with no tracking or measuring, fasting is more simple in its execution. Eat or don't eat. No calculations required. Here's the honest truth. There is no single approach that's universally better. There's only what's better for you right now, given your specific body, your specific goals, and your specific lifestyle. And here's something else worth considering. You don't have to choose just one. Many people find that combining keto with intermittent fasting gives them the best of both worlds. Here's why this combination works so well. Keto makes fasting easier, and fasting deepens the benefits of keto. When you're already eating keto, your body is already adapted to running on fat and ketones. You've already made the metabolic switch. So when you skip a meal or extend your fasting window, you don't experience the same intense hunger and discomfort that someone eating a high-carb diet would feel. Your body already knows how to access fat for fuel. The transition is smooth. The practical combination is simple. Eat ketogenic foods within an intermittent fasting window. For example, you might eat keto meals between noon and 8 in the evening, following a 16-8 pattern. Then you fast for the remaining 16 hours. During your eating window, you're nourishing your body. You're getting essential nutrients. You're providing protein for muscle maintenance. During your fasting window, you're deepening ketosis. You're enhancing autophagy. You're giving your digestive system a complete rest. Some people take this further. They eat keto most of the time and incorporate occasional extended fasts of 24 to 72 hours for the enhanced autophagy benefits. Then they return to regular keto eating. The key is finding what works for your body and fits into your life. Start simple. Pay attention to how you feel. Adjust based on your results. Before you begin either approach, a few important safety notes. Some people should not attempt keto or extended fasting without direct medical supervision. This includes pregnant or breastfeeding women, children and teenagers, anyone with a history of eating disorders, people with diabetes who use insulin, those with kidney disease, and anyone who is underweight. If you're taking any medications, check with your doctor first. Some medications need to be taken with food. Some require dose adjustments when you significantly change your eating patterns. And above all, listen to your body. Some mild discomfort during the adaptation period is normal and expected. Feeling seriously unwell is not. If you experience severe dizziness that doesn't resolve, heart palpitations that concern you, confusion or vomiting, stop what you're doing and consult a healthcare professional. Your body's signals matter more than any protocol. So keto or fasting, Which is better? The truth is, neither is universally superior. They are different tools that work in related but distinct ways. Keto is sustainable. It allows you to eat every day. It keeps you in a state of ketosis while still providing regular nutrition. Fasting is more intense. It triggers deeper cellular benefits, but it can't be maintained indefinitely. The best approach is the one that fits your body, your goals, and your life. For many people, combining elements of both might be the optimal path. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried keto or fasting, which worked better for you? Or have you combined both? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I'm genuinely interested in your experience. And if this video helped you understand these two approaches more clearly, consider sharing it with someone who's trying to decide between keto and fasting. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Thanks for watching. Take care of your body. It's the only one you've got.